Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now, one big issue with the game that I had not covered recently was the problem with Alliance Quest and the missing days of Alliance Quest. Now, full disclosure, I didn't realize that the problem existed with the early days because my team did not get affected by it. And by the time I did become aware of the scale of the issue in reality, was by the time we received our weekly rewards and I could see that our alliance had moved up 10 plus slots in the rankings, that's receiving better rewards. And then I realized that if out of top 30 alliances there are at least 10 plus teams that got affected, that means a very huge chunk of alliances are likely affected by this problem. And then I decided to see how Kabam is going to resolve this issue if I was going to cover it. And unfortunately, this post from Kabam Jax, and I do get that it's not Kabam Jax's fault, he's not the one who decides how Kabam is going to be sorting out this problem, but this needs covering. So, hello summoners, the dev team was able to find and resolve the cause of this issue, so we shouldn't encounter it again. It's very good. As a result, we will be issuing resources to all alliances, as this will not replace all lost resources that resulted from shifting placements in the last cycle. I wanted to give you the early heads up. The resources will be in your game mail by midday Friday. We apologize for the frustrations this issue has caused. Also, if you hear some background noise, my apologies on that. I have some construction happening nearby and there's not much I can do. I refuse to re-record this video for the fourth time. Right, anyways. But this solution is, again, arguably the worst one. Let me explain it. Because if you take a step, basically, every single alliance in the game at the moment falls in two categories. Whether you were affected by this bug and lost rewards, or you were not affected by this buff and you get better rewards that you arguably did not deserve. Like our alliance, my alliance, New Nation, got into a higher ranking bracket. Thus, we got some extra tidbits of tier 3 alpha, extra tidbits of tier 6 basic, few more glory and stuff like that, which we would have otherwise gotten. So out of this issue already, before any resources are sent out to anyone, our team has a net positive. We're not neutral. It wasn't like we didn't lose or gain anything. Sorry, it wasn't like we didn't lose anything and stuff like that. It was the fact that we actively got more rewards than we otherwise would have had there been no issue at all. And obviously the other group got significantly less rewards had there been no issue. Now, if they send out these resources to all of the alliances, now that also still needs to be determined what resources they're sending to all alliances, whether they will be varying by the prestige or brackets or something like that, because it really likely should. Because if they're sending out the same resource package to alliances that play map 4 as the ones that play map 8, it virtually guarantees that any alliance that is towards the higher ranking of the top of the IQ will, probably not going to appreciate that package as much as the lower ranked alliances do. But since we do not have specific information on whether it is going to be based on prestige or, whether it's going to be a generic package to everyone, still just sending out extra resources to everybody kind of makes this even worse, because it increases the total amount of the rewards a very significant portion of alliances are going to be getting, which majority of the alliances are going to be getting. And then the fact that people who already lost out on a ton gets the same stuff that people who didn't, if New Nation had been suffering from this bug, I don't think I would be particularly happy with the way Kabam approaches this. Obviously, on the flip side, you can choose to look at it as, you got better AQ rewards the previous time around, and you're going to get some extra goodies later today as well. So if you do happen to be in the category that's quote-unquote winning already and did not experience any issues, then it's cool for you, because you're going to get some free stuff. If you were affected, and the question here is why? Is it that hard to pull up a list of teams that only entered 3 or 4 days of AQ? And yeah, sure enough, some of them might have done it on purpose at the lower rarity level, but virtually not a single competitive alliance would ever only enter 3 days of AQ or 4 days of AQ. The solution seems very, very simple. Bring up a list of alliances that, you know, entered only 2, 3, or 4 days in Alliance Quest and send them that compensation package. Yeah, a small fraction, you know, will get rewards for free because they might have planned it or that's how they play AQ. But the rest of them would actually be rewarded properly. And it really isn't that hard of a thing to come up with. Versus right now, I do believe around probably 40% or 30% of the alliances, thereabouts I think, maybe got affected by that AQ issue. And so in the name of compensating the minority, they're going to send out the same package to everybody else. It just doesn't seem like there is much critical, logical thinking going on. And there is somewhat more of a, fuck it, just send them something type of thing going on. And I understand that I am getting a net positive here in this situation. I'm going to get some extra goodies. But honestly, what bothers me more is the way Kabam approaches these problems and how they choose their solutions. Then I'm happy for these few things or something. Because I'm sure it's not going to be anything game-breaking anyhow. Either way, let me know what you guys think about this one, and let me know what you guys think about this entire issue. But again, I think overall, obviously, the most important thing is that, you know, it doesn't happen again. But if this if this is the best solution they can come up with, then I don't know. See you soon, guys. Hello there, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the